In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at yet another PlayStation 5 leak. However, this one looks to be really fake. However, it has been making its way around the web, so we thought we'd go over it. Also, we're going to talk a little bit more about God of War on the PlayStation 4. Details on the various difficulty levels as well as its immersion have been released. And finally, there's also a pretty solid sale going on in the PlayStation Store, so we'll go over that at the end of this video. So first, let's talk about the PlayStation 5. Rumors have been circulating for a while about the potential of a PlayStation 5. Some of those rumors were pointing towards a possible release in 2018. I always thought that that was a little bit outrageous. The PlayStation 4 looks to have an incredible year lined up for not only 2018, but you look at the games coming in 2019 with titles such as the Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. There's so many games still coming out, so we're not ready for a PlayStation 5 quite yet, but I'm sure Sony has the groundworks for a PS5 set. The latest leak is a little bit crazy. It suggests that the CPU is an AMD Zen 8-core processor, the GPU is 14.2 teraflops, AMD Navi-based graphics engine, 32 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory, a 1 terabyte SSD storage, that's a little crazy. All games developed by Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios with production starting after April 1st, 2018 will be exclusively for the new console, and all PS4 and PS4 Pro titles can run better on this new console with a update patch all through backwards compatibility. All of that sounds a little bit too good to be true. Honestly though, as far as backwards compatibility go, which is the topic that I think a lot of gamers are extracting from this, I think it's almost a definite that the PlayStation 5 has to have backwards compatibility. You know that Microsoft is going to implement that into their next Xbox, and if they go into PS5 without backwards compatibility, while with the next Xbox backwards compatibility is still completely available, I think that would do a lot of damage to PlayStation as a brand. I mean, when you look back at how this generation started, the big reason why PS4 got a huge leap up on the Xbox One was the huge thing that happened with used games. If the PlayStation 5 doesn't have backwards compatibility and the next Xbox does, all that would be happening is the tables would be reversed, and I'm sure that Microsoft would take the momentum back. But as far as the entirety of this leak, it really comes a little bit too hard to believe for me. 1 terabyte of SSD storage is absolutely ridiculous. And even in this leak itself, there's some weird grammatical choices. For example, instead of listing 1 terabyte SSD storage, they just list 1T SSD storage. Just little things like that make it hard for me to believe that this leak is accurate, but I thought I'd go over it anyway because it has been circulating the web, and I do want to bring that to your guys' attention. Okay, moving on from that, God of War on the PlayStation 4 has had an immense amount of hype coming towards its release of April 20th, and now we have the various difficulty levels. Let's go over them, and this was revealed in the team's latest blog post. The difficulties are as follow from easiest to most difficult. First up, we have Give Me a Story. It lets you experience the story without too much of a difficult gameplay challenge. Next up, we have Give Me a Balanced Experience. Is the mode we'd recommend most players start with. The name says it all. We've tuned in to deliver a balanced, challenging playthrough. Next up is Give Me a Challenge, which is harder and less forgiving. It is recommended for players who find action games extremely intuitive and for confident, long-time God of War series veterans who've beaten past games on harder difficulties. And finally, the most difficult is Give Me God of War. This is the sort of thing reserved for people who wrestle polar bears in their undies. Maybe not quite that, but it's the most difficult mode in the game. We haven't just made you weaker or enemies stronger, we've looked at enemy behaviors and placements and encounters as well, tweaking everything to make it as threatening as possible. Best of all, you cannot change difficulties once you start a game on this mode, so if you suddenly realize you're way in over your head, you'll have to start a new game altogether. Don't be sorry, be better. And there's also a new mode being introduced in God of War called Immersion Mode. This allows you to turn off most of the HUD, allowing for a far more cinematic experience, and you'll be able to tweak specific HUD elements that you want to see. That's pretty cool, and as far as the game itself, we know that it's coming April 20th, however, the reviews should be coming in very soon, and it looks like all signs point to this being one of the best, if not the best, PlayStation 4 exclusive thus far. And finally, the PlayStation Store has started yet another sale, and this is the Rockstar Sale. So with Rockstar games, their games do retain quite a high value, but there are some pretty good deals. Grand Theft Auto 5 is seeing its typical discount. It's 50% off down to $30. I really wish we could get that game a little bit cheaper at this point. It's been 3.5 years, even more than that since the PlayStation 4 version has been released, and with the last gen version, we're creeping up on 5 years. Would love to see that game at $20 at this point, but still at $30. It's a game that's packed to the brim with content, so I understand why it's priced so highly, and even at that price, I would say it's well worth it. LA Noire is 25% off for $30. That's a relatively recent remaster, so I can understand why that's still priced kind of highly. And outside of that, you do have some PS2 on PS4 games on sale. Bully is 40% off, down to $9. GTA 3 is $9 as well, as is San Andreas, and then Vice City is $9 as well. However, you can get Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy for $17.50. That includes GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. Max Payne is down to $9, Manhunt is down to $9, The Warriors is down to $9, and Red Dead Revolver is down to $9. That game's not quite as good as Red Dead Redemption, but if you want to see how the series started, it's not a bad pickup. And overall, prices we've seen before, but if you're looking to pick any of these up, these are the best prices you're going to find on the digital front. That's going to conclude this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about the PlayStation 5 leak? It sounds pretty good, but to me, it sounds really fake at the same time. Let us know what you think of that. And what do you think about God of War? What difficulty are you planning on playing the game on? Remember, at the hardest difficulty of Give Me God of War, if you start the game on it, you won't be able to change the difficulty without restarting the game, so pick wisely. And let us know if you're checking anything out from the Rockstar PlayStation Store sale. Sound off in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.